you tell us about your organization, Education Veritas, and what it does?
Yeah, so Education Veritas, we formed it 4 years ago, and it has been mostly focused on the private schools and the woke progressive content that's pouring into them down from these accreditation organizations and other institutions. So we have been trying to educate parents, students, enlighten them, and empower them to speak up, stand up for what's going on with their kids and this spiritual warfare that's going on. And it's not just, regular private schools. This is, Christian elite schools where it's at the highest level, and you have, gender ideology and political ideologies coming in, and teachers pushing curriculum and content that's just not appropriate. So we've tried to put out the accounts out of the schools from, actual assignments, commentary from parents, teachers, of things that are actually going on within the classroom, so that they understand this is not just something that's, a pie in the sky, a conspiracy. Here it is, truth, plain and simple.
Someone in my friend circle said that their 5-year-old came home saying, I'm the opposite sex. And then when the parent said no, he started saying, my body, my choice, started chanting, my body, my choice. So it's like, so they're learning this in school, this kind of rhetoric, but this was a private school, a respected private school in the area. And it's like the parents are sending their kids there and they don't realize what's going on in the classroom. How do you find out as a parent what is going on in the schools when it's not so obvious until it seems the damage has been done?
Exactly. Well, and you have to really ask questions. You have to go to the administrators, heads of schools. You've got to talk to parents and find out, are you pushing this? Is this part of your curriculum? You have to look whether they have DEI departments. Many of them have loaded ones where you've got multiple people for every division of the school, grades of the school. And so finding out whether they're pushing that is a huge one, which most of them are in some capacity, unless it's like a covenant Christian school. But it is, the main things that are getting pushed is this activism and this, DEI, which is completely, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Those things are not the actual words. So you have weaponization of language where they're confusing parents and they're saying, but this is about kindness and being nice to other people, when it's really not. It's all about, one lane of thought and creating no diversity of thought or really individuals. So, and just the dividing up of children that's going on within the school. So, this is happening under parents' noses, but you have to be involved. You have to look through their assignments, the work, the content that they're using to teach your kids, because this is as much about protecting children that are, struggling and having issues and have been through things and more likely to go down those pathways of getting sort of indoctrinated as the children that are clear on who they are and what they stand for. So this is an abuse of children. It's when you remove a child's innocence in whatever capacity, that's abuse.
I know that these things have been building over time, but it seems like all of a sudden it's out there and open out of nowhere. 10, 15 years ago, if you were a tomboy, let's say for example, they didn't say you're a guy. Maybe you don't know about what sex you are. But now they're saying this to children. What happened, do you think, that caused all this?
I think this has been coming on for a long time, and this is a true breakdown of society, leveling the playing field, communism 101 coming in. But it's up until, COVID happened, this was all somewhat in the dark. And so the minute that happened and parents were home and on Zoom calls and school days, they could see, wait a minute, it was almost like the floodgates opened at that point, and the truth was just like a fire hose. I mean, we've had it coming at us, since then, where all these new programs were getting implemented, where it's like, well, we need to now, create all these identities and all these groups, and we need to make everybody feel safe, and we need to make speech, controlled, which if you control speech, that's not free speech for sure. It's a very divisive, kind of hate-filled agenda being pushed off as something good and virtuous and, kind.
How can people get involved with your organization?
Education Veritas, our big presence is on Instagram. It's education_Veritas. And we also are on Twitter, and our website is educationveritas.org. You can message us any content questions, any information, but that is the main hub of where, it's the best platforms to kind of put out what we have. And we're constantly suppressed, so we must be over the target.